Hello, I'm Lesley Logan. Today we're going to go over single leg circles. I'm also going to have some tips for modification and advancement of this exercise in this video. Single leg circles. I love these. So if you're watching this from the deck of flashcards from onlinepilatesclasses.com, hi, thank you so much for buying those cards. If you're like, what? There's a deck of flashcards? Yes, there is on onlinepilatesclasses.com. You can check them out. We have all the mat exercises plus a couple bonus ones to help you get deeper into your Pilates practice on the mat. So let me talk to you about the ideal version of single leg circle, and then we'll talk about some modifications and some advancements, okay? So ideally, you will have come from your roll over. So I'll show you that transition. So you would come down, and then you would just take one leg to the mat and one leg to the sky. Now, depending on your height, if you're using a mat with a strap, then the strap might actually benefit you to be around. For me, it's actually too long, so I just use the handles. If you don't have handles and you have a strap, use a strap, have your arms down by your side. If you have no handles, no strap, don't use it, and just have your arms down by your side. I do love this opportunity to reach though, because it creates this upper back width that is really important because the single leg circles get us prepared for corkscrew, okay? So what you'll do is you'll flex the foot that's on the mat, you press that heel down, not the knee down, the heel, so you get that fast connection, that thigh or the thigh meets the butt connection. Then you circle your leg 5 times with a pointed foot. You go across the body first, and then when you reverse, you go out to the side. And this is very important. It actually matters because when your leg is going to the side, it's going distal and it's heavy. And if we go out to the side first, we actually don't know how, we haven't actually gathered up our strength in our center till the leg comes across. So if you go across first, then your center is on, you actually know how far to the side you can go without your opposite hip lifting. So let's talk about some other key things. So I'm reaching into my arms, my upper back for that width of the upper back, pulling those ribs in. The foot that is flexed is pressing down and anchoring that right side. As I do my circles, I'm noticing how big I can make my circles today without lifting my opposite hip. And the goal is not to get stuck on making your circles the exact same size every single day because again, every single day is different, right? So modifications, you can have the knee of the leg that's straight bent, especially if you have back issues, and then you can circle your circling leg with that bent knee. Another thing, I talk about the hip click a lot in my onlinepilatesclasses.com classes. We actually work on getting rid of that click. That click is coming because you've lost, when you're doing your circle, you've lost this. So right here, a lot of people bring their leg too close to them. They've hiked the hip up and now this is off. It's like not even on. So I actually have people don't necessarily make smaller circles, but just go low and only come up as high as they can keep that connection and feel their center helping them. And then eventually, look at that, you can get higher and higher, right? So the goal is not that you always get to the ceiling. The goal is that you're always working from your center. So modification would be lower circles, that would be in air quotes, smaller, a bent knee, right? You could also bend the knee of the circling leg, but I don't want you to get too obsessed with that and try not to modify everything. So modifications, I talk about this a lot in my workshops. Modifications are like borrowing money from the bank. You want to make sure that you borrow with the lowest interest rate, right? Every modification you make makes the interest rate higher, makes it harder for you to pay back, which means makes it harder for you to get to the ideal. So start with one and see if that's enough before you start adding in more modifications, and then always check back in. Also, you can replace corkscrew with this exercise in your mat practice if you're not ready. For more advanced just so one of the modifications for the advancement, you're just trying to make the circle as big as you can without this opposite hip lifting. So can you go to the, like way down to the side and across without your opposite hip coming up? It's it's not this like super fancy exercise, but your goal is to like see how big of a circle can I make and stay connected. So it's not about hanging out in your flexibility. If you're my flexible person out there, hypermobile, I know you can make a big circle. Can you make it without clicking, clunking, or with your opposite lifting? That's what I want to know. We do this all the time in onlinepilatesclasses.com, so join us there to do life better.